Hello, my darlings, bisous and bonjour de France. It is day 10 of our road trip together, and we are still in Provence, but we're on the road. And where are we heading off to today? You know, we talked about Aix-en-Provence a few times, and you know, Jeff and I, we've been there, and we've been there quite a few times. We like Aix-en-Provence, but today it's going to be 81 degrees there, a little too warm for our pups, and we're missing the ocean. So what are we doing today? We are going calanquing. Now, technically, this is not a verb, but you know me. I'm a bit odd, and I love, you know, to have nicknames for things. What is a calanque? A calanque is kind of this, usually it's like limestone, but these big limestone inlets. Think of like these tall cliffs. And it's normally found between Marseille and Cassis, so east, along the Mediterranean. And then you also have Calanques in Italy. So this is a very unique thing that happens right along the coastline. And if you can imagine these big white limestone cliffs that lead down to these inlets of crystal beautiful blue waters. Now, we've been to some of the calanques along in between Cassis and Marseille, and we're kind of going just a little bit west of there today to explore some new ones, see what we can find, and just spend some time along the coastline. Also, I've been receiving some questions about planning and traveling with your pets, and this is also kind of tied together. So around this time of the year, and the beaches in France, they can be a little complicated. And why? Well, just like anything else, when the weather turns warm and it's nice and sunny, where else do you want to go in France? You want to go to the ocean. One of the reasons Jeff and I decided I love I love the Charente style architecture and homes, and so we actually thought about Rochelle and that area near Ile-de-Ré and all along the Atlantic coastline in the Charente maritime area for purchasing, which is, you know, just inland about an hour. It can be very affordable. You have these beautiful homes, but I found out that during the summer, which is of course the time that you want to go to the beaches, can take 2 to 3 hours just to get there, and then all of the tourists and all of the people that are visiting there too. It can just be a traffic nightmare, 2 to 3 hours one way, which in wintertime would only take an hour. So, along with a few other things, that really deterred me. I wasn't really wanting to be so far away from the ocean. Down here, because the calanques are so popular and they're protected, what they do is they put up barriers. And so sometimes they can be very difficult to get to by car. You have to hike in pretty far. Some of the calanques you just absolutely cannot get to. You actually have to hike down to them or get to them by boat. So talking about the dogs in brief, in France, unfortunately, most beaches during the summer are closed to dogs. Now, there are a few pet-friendly ones. Also, there are seasonal beaches where, like, say, mid-June to mid-September, they close to dogs. And then, of course, the rest of the year it's open. So those are some things to consider. Just like when you go to the beaches here in France, just really do some research. Is it going to be difficult to access? Is it going to be difficult to find parking? Are they closed off to your animals? What is the situation? Just do some research before you hit the road, so that way you're a little less disappointed. And always make a rendezvous at the restaurant that you want to eat at, because unless it's first come first serve, it's going to be complex. It's going to be full, and you don't want to be hangry and on the beach with no food, no access. That could be a very frustrating experience. So that's what we're doing today. We are driving south to the Mediterranean, and we are going calanquing. Bisous.